I'm showing you a CD that I showed you earlier today. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you know what this is, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is the actual October 4th interview between yourself, Agent Isom, Luis Rivera, and his legal team, correct?
That's correct.
And you reviewed this?
Skip through it quickly.
Does it appear to be in the same or substantially the same condition as it was when you first took it?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, the defense moves what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 6 into evidence.
Objecting hearsay.
Sustained.
Judge, I'll re-enter this at another portion, another witness, Judge. Now, that video shows Luis Rivera's body language, right?
Sure.
Okay. It shows the way he responds to questioning, right?
Yes.
It shows whether or not his attorney jumps in and starts asking questions to assist his client, correct?
I would disagree with him doing it to assist his client. I think it was to assist the investigation.
Okay, but you will agree that if we watch the video, this jury could draw that conclusion from this house, correct?
They could draw that for themselves. Yes, that is correct.
Because they'd be able to see the actual video itself, right?
Correct. Yes.
Do you know how many times Luis Rivera's attorney objected or interrupted your line of questioning to redirect the questioning in that interview?
No, I don't.
Hearsay.
Sustained.
Judge, I'm not offering it for the truth of the matter asserted.
I'll withdraw my ruling.
You can answer that question, sir.
No, I don't.
Now, one of the things the prosecution asked you about was if he made any mistakes, right? If Luis Rivera had made any factual allegations that were incorrect. You recall that?
Yes, I do.
And I think one of the first ones that the prosecution proffered to you was there was a speeding ticket that Luis Rivera received going north from Miami to Tallahassee, where I think he got the ticket in Gainesville around mile marker 375 or something like that, right? Sounds about right?
Sounds about right.
And in his testimony, he thought that occurred not in the June trip, which the records show, right?
That's correct.
But he believed it was in the July trip, right?
That's correct.
And he also believed instead of it being on the way up, that it was on the way down, right?
I don't remember it being on the way down. I think it was on the way up,
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Right. You know what would clear that up for us? Would you agree that a copy of the video, playing the video?
Mr. Sangaday, that is very inappropriate. And jury, let me explain. Generally, what people say outside the courtroom is hearsay. That's why I sustained the objection to the video. Now, if there are things in there that are inconsistent with what Mr. Rivera said in court, the defense is free to bring that out. But that's my ruling, and you should not be worrying that there's something nefarious going on. He's free to bring out what's inconsistent, but the full statement is hearsay and inadmissible. You can proceed, Mr. Sangaday.
Thank you, Judge.
You can step down, Agent Sanford. There were two legal questions asked that I have to deal with legal questions. It's not for the witness to deal with. It asked whether the video of Mr. Rivera in custody was in evidence, and the answer to that, it is not. And the follow-up question to that was, why is the Rivera interview video considered hearsay, but the phone calls from the wiretap are not considered hearsay? And let me say, hearsay is a very complicated subject. There are books and books written on hearsay. There are law school classes on hearsay. You cannot become a hearsay expert today. There are approximately 30 exceptions to the hearsay rule. there are circumstances where hearsay does not apply. So just accept that you're not going to become an expert on hearsay based upon your involvement in this trial. But in general, the hearsay, it is not hearsay when somebody takes somebody's statement and presents it against them. But it is hearsay if that person who is making the conversation tries to use it back. I know that's a little confusing, but in other words, if it's being used against someone, it is not hearsay. It is, if it's trying to be used by the person, it is hearsay. That's a little confusing. As I said, as to Mr. Rivera's statements, what he said that was inconsistent with what he said in court is admissible against him, but not everything he says is admissible in court. So that probably just fuels your confusion, but that's what I get paid to try to sort out, and done my best to do so. So anyway, y'all have a good lunch. Let's be back at 1:30, please. Either side have any issues? See y'all at 1:30.
Unplugged.
Okay, we are now going to break, and I thank you all for your patience. I thank you for your attention, again for your timeliness during the week. And we are doing our best to remain on schedule here in the courtroom, and we appreciate you all doing your part also. Okay, so I'm going to give you your warnings for the weekend because you're going to be gone for a couple days. So no discussions with your family, no discussions with your friends or your neighbors or your long lost uncle who's going to try to give you a call or whoever, okay? Don't watch the news, whether it's local or national. Please don't try to do any research on the internet about the news. I don't want to prohibit you from going on the internet, but just don't go to places where you might receive any type of news about this case, okay? Get some rest, some relaxation, get out in the sun, which we haven't seen for a few days, and get some exercise, and we'll see everybody at 8:30 on Monday morning, okay? All right, thank you.